All right, so obviously there's a lot of different shoulder rigs out there on the market, and eventually you're going to build up and you're going to get quite a bit of rods and clamps and all kinds of other things. But what I found myself doing was picking out the same types of clamps and rods whenever I would build like my most common rigs. And so Photography and Cinema has put together a small kit, and it's a complete shoulder rig that can actually be transformed into a few different shoulder rigs to kind of meet your demands as you grow. So this is really great for the starter. It'll give you exactly what you need if you just have a plain camera, and then help you expand as you start to add various accessories or kind of change your shooting style. So anyways, let's go through the list here. We've got two long foam cushion handles here. We've got some clamps, 90-degree clamps for the handles, an offset piece here. It comes with two 10-inch rods and a couple of 6-inch rods here. And we have the PNC base plate. This is the camera mount. It has both a tripod mount, so you can immediately put your rig onto a tripod, and then a stage for your camera here. And we'll get back to this in a second because there's some other features. And then the shoulder pad. And then we're also combining it with the Swiss rods here because you're going to need this as you expand, especially once you start adding accessories to your rig. All right, so this is the Photography and Cinema rig base plate here. This is where the camera mounts. This is the tripod mount. You can put your favorite quick release plate here. You can adjust the height a little bit. And then this little piece here is designed to prevent your camera body from twisting. So actually, once you mount your camera flush to this base plate here, you can kind of push this up against the body. And when you push this up against the body here, let's see, then it'll prevent the camera from twisting on the stage. If you plan to mount a quick release base plate on here, you can remove these from these little screws as well. So you can have this entire platform for use. This is one of the most common setups that a lot of the rigs have. It pushes the camera forward and also offset. So it's a little bit to the left, and that's designed so that it can place the LCD directly in front of your face, especially if you don't have a swing out LCD, if you're not running a monitor, LCD monitor with cables everywhere. This is really the most simple setup right here. So typically this would be used in this fashion right here. So the camera is placed in front of me and off to the side, and you have very stable footage. And we didn't even add the Swiss rods. So if you had to add some additional accessories, most rigs out there, if you look carefully, don't have any mounting points. So you have to buy additional clamps or accessories to start mounting things. In this setup right here, even without our Swiss rods, you have a 1/4-20 here at the shoulder pad, another 1/4-20 here at this offset. You have a 1/4-20 here above the handles, which is perfect for lighting, microphones, and even an LCD monitor. So this configuration right here, you can build up on if you wanted to. But we're gonna rebuild this again and change this around and show you guys another setup for cameras that have swing out LCDs. All right, so you can see we have some extra parts over here. This is a very, very simple setup right here. We just have the two handles, the 90-degree clamps for the handles here, our long rails, which are 10-inch, and the PNC shoulder pad. And this is designed to be inline if your camera has a swing out LCD. So it still places the camera in front of you, but your LCD kind of gives you that offset, so you don't need all these extra pieces here. And it makes it real simple to just kind of place your camera here in front of you. And if you still need to mount other accessories, again, you have a 1/4-20 on this side and on this side above the handles, and another one in the rear here, so you could still add some of your LED lights and microphones as well. And one of the things I want to mention is that all the pieces of the PNC rig are all metal, so there's no plastic being used on the rig at all, except for foam handles, but everything else is all metal. So it's really decent quality for the budget shooter. One of the really cool things about this rig is the shoulder pad. So the shoulder pad can actually articulate, and with an Allen key here, you can kind of loosen it up and you can readjust it. But I keep mine fairly loose so I can just kind of adjust it myself. But basically, you can fold this up, and then you can make this into a kind of what some people call that target shooter, right? Gun stock. And it's actually the most comfortable shoulder stock I've used because it's actually a full pad rather than a small gun stock. So anyways, if I had the handles down low here and I had my chest pad folded up, I can tuck this in and make a nice little steady shooter here. And I could still access the lens to focus. But that's a small setup if you need to kind of get more mobile and turn it into a target shooter using just these same pieces here. Okay, so now we have the short rods out and we have the offset out. So we're using everything else, including the Swiss rods in the back here. And this is actually one of my favorite setups to use because the rig is inline, but it actually moves the camera closer to the shoulder instead of over your hands where it can get a little heavy. So this gets relocated closer to the back of the shoulder. And for viewing, we have the LCD monitor here. So I can do all my focusing from this small HD over here, and it's mounted right above the handles. And then I have another mount here, which I'm using for the LED light. But I still have a hot shoe here if I want to add a microphone. And then also, if I wanted to, I have these Swiss rods here, which if you guys don't know about it yet, you can mount a variety of things to the back of this and kind of balance out the rig. I still have a little extra room here, so I can even go with a counterweight system if I wanted to. I have enough rails up front here if I wanted to put a follow focus. So you can really build up on just these small pieces, and it's really affordable. So even this rig, after going around shooting off the shoulder, I have the quick release here so we can go right into tripod mount, and then we can even just shoot from here. So it's actually a really versatile system with just using some very basic parts that we're including so that you guys can set up and build your rig depending on a variety of shooting styles. So check it out at photographyandcinema.com.